CVC Capital Partners is an American private equity firm with approximately $80 billion in secured commitments across European and Asian private equity, credit and growth funds. In total, the CVC Group manages over $52 billion of assets. Since 1981, CVC has completed over 300 investments across a wide range of industries and countries. CVC was founded in 1981 and today has a network of over 20 offices throughout Europe, Asia and the United States. History. Founding American banking giant, Citicorp, had established an investment arm in 1968 to focus on venture capital investments. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, Citicorp Venture Capital, at that time under the leadership of Chairman William T. Comfort, continued to invest in early-stage businesses but also expanded into the emerging leveraged buyout business. CVC Capital Partners was originally founded in 1981 as the European arm of Citicorp Venture Capital. Among Citicorp Venture Capital's early managing directors in Europe were John Botts, Otto van der Weyck, John Moulton and Frank Neal. Of the group's original European leadership, most would leave by the late 1980s. Botts left in 1987 to found his own boutique investment banking firm, Botts & Company. Moulton left the bank to co-found Schroeder Ventures in 1985. The following year, Van der Weyck left to co-found European private equity firm BC Partners in 1986 and today serves as chairman of AlpInvest and as senior advisor to Kohler Capital. Neal also departed to join Fieldra Ventures, which subsequently became UBS Capital and later IRRFC. Spin-out from Citicorp and the 1990s. By the early 1990s, Michael Smith, who joined Citicorp in 1982, was leading Citicorp Venture Capital in Europe along with other managing directors Stephen Colts, Hardy McLean, Donald McKenzie, Ian Parham, and Roly Van Rappard. In 1993, Smith and the senior investment professionals of Citicorp Venture Capital negotiated a spin-out from Citibank to form an independent private equity firm, CVC Capital Partners. In 2006, the U.S. arm of Citigroup Venture Capital also spun out of the bank to form a new firm, known as Court Square Capital Partners. CVC operated offices in London, Paris and Frankfurt. Following the spin-out, CVC raised its first investment fund with $300 million of commitments, half coming from Citicorp and the rest from high-net-worth individuals and institutional investors. Now independent, CVC also completed its transition from venture capital investments to leveraged buyouts and investments in mature businesses. CVC would follow up with its second fund in 1996, its first fully independent of Citibank, with $840 million of capital commitments. Since 2000. By 2000, CVC was one of the largest and best-known private equity firms in Europe. In 2001, CVC completed fundraising for its third investment fund, which was the largest private equity fund raised in Europe at the time, just ahead of funds raised by other leading firms, Apax Partners and BC Partners also. Around the same time, CVC expanded into Asia with a $750 million fund focusing exclusively on investments in Asian companies. In 2007, CVC expanded to the U.S., opening an office in New York City, headed by Christopher Stadler and overseen by Roly Van Rappard. Since 2010. In June 2015, CVC acquired the German perfume retailer Douglas AG for an undisclosed fee from U.S. private equity firm Advent International. In September 2015, CVC opened an office in Warsaw. In November 2015, CVC and the Canada Pension Plan Investment Board both acquired American pet supplier Petco for a fee of around $4.6 billion. Investment funds. Investments. Europe and the United States. The current European and U.S. portfolio of companies includes, Served Italian Credit Data and Business Intelligence Company. Pilot Travel Centers, truck stop chain in the United States. Formula One Group, motorsport management business. Samsonite, luggage company. RAC, automotive rescue service provider in the UK. Merlin Entertainments, theme park operator, jointly controlled with Kirkby Blackstone Group, Parmarcorp, leading private equity Europe and US all sectors. Cortefiel, apparel retailers in Spain. Seat Pagangile, director is business in Italy. Leslie's Pool Supplies, US retailer of swimming pool supplies. BPOST, Belgian postal services operator. Univar, chemical distribution company in the US and Europe. A Spanish cable company based in Galicia, offering quadruple play services. Skrill, online payments and money transfer. Freikin, truck leasing. PKP Energetica, electrical company on the rails. Petco Holdings Incorporated, major pet supplies retail chain. It formerly included Starbev, Prague-based brewery. Their product line includes the Staropramen Czech lager, as well as international brands brewed and distributed under license. In 2012, Starbev was sold to Molson Coors, which also resulted in a full withdrawal of CVC Capital Partners from Central and Eastern Europe. Asia Pacific. The current Asia Pacific portfolio includes Zhuhai Zongfu, Chinese PET bottler. Myanmar, window shutter manufacturer, based in Taiwan. Plantation Timber Products, a wood fiber boards producer in China. 9 Entertainment Company, Australian Media Group. DCA Group, diagnostic imaging centre operator in Australia. UMC, Singaporean Precision Metal Components Company. GS Paper and Packaging, Malaysian Paper and Packaging Company. Skylark, restaurant operator in Japan. Minute Asia Pacific, shoe repair and key cutting provider in Japan. Shinwa Company Systems scaffolding supplier in Japan. Matahari, Indonesian department store chain. iMed Network, Australian radiology company. Hong Kong Broadband Network, Hong Kong broadband operator, acquired from City Telecom. Spy Global, a Philippines-based BPO company. References. External links: CVC Capital Partners,